The scene starts with John running somewhere, trying to find an exit before nightfall. His watch had stopped working and he kept ending up at the same spot, not to mention the multiple signs saying point of no return with different numbers. Suddenly, a flock of birds flies over him and John realizes it's already night. Trying to hide, he climbs a tree, but the branch breaks and he falls. Terrified, he grabs a knife from his backpack. But before he can defend himself, a mysterious creature appears and drags him away. Meanwhile, in the city, American immigrant and artist Mina works at a pet store. One day, her boss introduces her to a bird that needs to be taken to a zoo in another city and asks her to make the trip. Mina names the bird Darwin before taking it home. She tells Darwin that today is the 15th anniversary of her mother's death, so she'll go out tonight to forget. She puts on a wig, goes to a bar with a fake name and job to meet guys, and the next morning, she asks Darwin not to judge her, explaining that she likes to dress up because the real her isn't pleasant. Before I continue, I ask you to subscribe to the channel so we can reach 500 subscribers. It would make me very happy, and if you're enjoying it, leave a like on the video. Mina leaves the city by car to make the delivery, crossing the countryside and stopping only to refuel. During the trip, she gets a call from her twin sister but doesn't answer and listens to the voicemail. Her sister criticizes Mina for not attending their mother's memorial and mentions that it's been 15 years, so Mina should stop avoiding the family. Ignoring the message, Mina keeps driving, not noticing the sign with dozens of missing person posters near the forest. Moments later, Mina drives through the forest and doesn't recognize the area. Her phone and car radio start to fail before the car breaks down, leaving Mina stranded. She gets out of the vehicle, finds a point of no return sign, and thinks someone must live nearby. Mina goes back to the car to get her backpack and Darwin, and starts wandering around asking for help. Nothing happens and she decides to turn back, but when she does, the car is gone. Now she has no choice but to keep walking to find an exit. At night, a flock of birds flies over her and Mina hears some noises, noticing an old woman running nearby. Desperate, Mina chases after her and sees the old woman enter a building, where she tells Mina to come in quickly if she wants to live. Mina does just that and finds 2 more people inside. The old woman introduces herself as Madeline, and the others are Sierra and Daniel. They call the building the Coop and also got lost in the forest, so now they hide there. The group takes Mina to a mirrored window, while Madeline explains that the creatures outside are called Watchers. They come every night to watch through the window and leave at dawn. Madeline makes Mina step forward and the Watchers can be heard applauding as a welcome to the show. The next day, Mina leaves the Coop, ignoring the others' warnings. As she wanders through the forest, she hears her name being whispered and sees a girl in the distance asking why she did that. Terrified, Mina runs to the top of a hill, where she discovers she's in the middle of a vast, endless forest. When Mina returns, Madeline tells her that everyone has tried to leave, but no one has succeeded. The forest causes hallucinations and can drive a person mad. The signs are markers placed in a circle half a day's journey from the Coop and serve as a boundary. Crossing the line means never coming back. These signs were built by someone called the Professor. Mina has no choice but to go back with the others to the co-op. At night, Daniel makes a speech to announce Mina's return to the show, and Sierra plays music to dance for the Watchers. They found some DVDs of a reality show, so Mina tries to distract herself with that, noticing the professor's name on the box. The next day, the group goes out to gather food and Sierra teaches Mina to recognize medicinal plants. Sierra explains that Daniel often has headaches and, according to John, he liked Sierra. John is Sierra's husband and left 6 days ago, but they haven't heard from him since. Sierra also shares Madeline's theory that seeing a Watcher can drive someone insane. Then, she shows Mina a burrow, explaining that there are several of them scattered throughout the forest. They are connected by an underground tunnel system where the Watchers live during the day. To Mina's shock, Sierra admits that she and John arrived there about 5 months ago, though she lost count and isn't really sure. I really think this movie could have been better with a better director and a great script, and without using so much CGI for the monsters. This film had a lot of potential, but continuing. Mina, always the one to find herself in strange situations, runs into the forest and discovers Sierra standing at the edge of a burrow, teetering between existence and the beyond, all for the love of John. Suddenly, a scream cuts through the air, interrupting Sierra's melodramatic moment. Following the noise, they stumble upon Daniel, who has completely lost his mind, tying up Madeline. Madeline claims that Daniel has gone mad, but he just smiles maniacally, declaring that they are now playing by their own rules, before running back to the coop. Sierra runs after him while Mina, always the reluctant heroine, stays to free Madeline. United, they run to the coop, only to find it locked by the dynamic duo, Daniel and Sierra. With birds ominously swarming, Mina and Madeline dive into a rotting-smelling trap, hoping the stench will mask their scent. Meanwhile, Daniel and Sierra share a bizarre moment in front of the mirror until a watcher appears, dramatically roaring for reinforcements. Inside the coop, things get even stranger. Mina and Madeline, after begging for mercy with a heartwarming story about Mina's guilt over her mother's death, are finally let in. Madeline wastes no time scolding Daniel, but they quickly shift focus to the bigger problem: the Watchers. In front of the mirror, Madeline delves into her expertise in folklore and mythology, explaining how the Watchers, also known as changelings or fairies, want to become human. At that moment, a Watcher starts banging on the door, mimicking Sierra's voice, while more Watchers climb the coop, mimicking human voices to lure them outside. As the group blocks the door with a table, they discover a hidden bunker. Underground, they find Professor Rory's hideout, complete with video diaries documenting his descent into madness. In the last recording, Rory mentions a boat hidden after marker 134, instructing anyone who finds the tape to destroy his research. Naturally, Mina cries at the sound of gunshots in the video, and the group decides to escape on the boat at dawn. Morning comes, and they follow Mina's markers to marker 134, releasing Darwin to lead the way. They stumble upon a stone marker where Madeline explains that the fairies were imprisoned after losing a war against humans, leaving them wingless and magicless. As night falls, the Watchers approach, but the group reaches the river in time. Everyone boards the boat except Daniel, who, hearing John's voice, falls for the classic "it's not really your dead friend" trick. Fake John transforms and kills Daniel, to Sierra's despair. The trio rows away while the Watchers watch blankly, unable to leave the forest. Safe and sound, they take a bus back to the city, but Mina can't forget the memories of her mother's death, a scene eerily reminiscent of her own recent ordeal. Back in civilization, Mina visits the university, pretending to be Rory's niece to fulfill his last wish. She finds the coop plans, a draft of an article on the Watchers, and a recorder with Rory's research. The recordings detail how the fairies lived harmoniously with humans, giving birth to hybrid children who could walk in the sunlight. Shocked by the photos, Mina discovers that Madeline was Rory's wife, who died in 2001. Mina theorizes that Rory tried to resurrect her using a Watcher, who became the Madeline they knew. And with this twist, the real Sierra appears, revealing that the Sierra Mina knew was the Watcher all along. Chaos ensues as the Watcher shapeshifts, fights Mina, and eventually flies away, realizing it might be part human. In the end, Mina reconciles with her sister, still haunted by the Watcher, who now takes the form of a little girl, always watching. A fun fact about this movie is that it featured a special cameo by a certain expert in magical creatures, making a subtle reference to another famous fantasy film. And remember, if you find yourself in a forest with shape-shifting fairies, do like Mina. Cry, run, and never look back. Stay well, folks, and I'll see you next time.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect.